nowadays, our technologies are growing really fast. The industry needs workforce with advanced skills and expertise and knowledge. So what happens always, there is a gap between what we teach in academic setting and what is required now in advanced industries like national labs.
QCAM is a Minority Serving Institute partnership program. The purpose of the program is to develop a sustainable workforce pipeline between minority serving institutes and industries within the national security enterprise.
This type of program can help universities to better address the needs of advanced industries and can help create workforce development pipelines that can bridge that gap. The QCAM includes 3 academic partners and 3 national labs,
led by New Mexico State University, Navajo Technical University, and Prairie View A&M University.
We have Los Alamos National Laboratories, Oak Ridge National Laboratory, and we have Kansas City National Security Laboratory.
Right now we are in Navajo Technical University in Navajo Nation. We are holding a summer camp for students involved in QCAM.
This is a summer workshop where the students gain hands-on experience with a lot of the equipment that we use for metal AM research. We have a complete ecosystem to go from processing to post-processing that all exists under one roof here, which is really unique.
NTU has this unique facility. It's not just facility, they have the expertise. So we collaborate with Scott Halliday here. He has the expertise to qualify the part, build the part, test the part destructively and non-destructively.
I've never really considered a career in additive manufacturing or 3D printing or anything because I never really got to see it full scale like this. Now I'm seeing it and I'm like, okay, well this could be a big thing in the future. So now I'm looking more into that field.
I've been 3D printing for a couple years now. So as soon as he said metal 3D printing, I was hooked.
One of the things that's unique about our lab is the hands-on training portion of it. A lot of these students come in from their universities and they don't get the hands-on portion. So NTU and our fabrication lab, we allow students to come in and do that.
A lot of times to get to these type of laboratories that we have here at Navajo Tech, you have to go to almost an Ivy League school. So this opportunity to bring, some students from HBCUs and some students from, obviously from this school here to actually use the machinery is outstanding.
With all these years of going through the reading about it, to finally get my hands on to learn more about it. That's why, I decided to ask if I could attend a camp.
In the classroom, we learn about it, all the theoretical sides of it. A lot of the machines in there I've seen before in a textbook, but never in person. So I've gotten pretty comfortable with a lot of them as well over the past couple weeks.
That's been a really wonderful experience because it takes the theory that I learned in class, working with the graphs, working with the materials, and making predictions about materials. Now we get to see that actually happen. So we work with various instruments that allow us to take physical objects and actually test them to learn about their material properties, many of their characteristics, and that's very important for research, especially with novel technologies such as metal additive manufacturing.
So in general, we have several different activities or groups of activities. We design the part for them so they can create a CAD file, create a G-code for that, and then they run the additive manufacturing machine themselves.
So one of the first things we did was work with the D&D machine. And what that did was printed our tensile block. And we were trying to check how good are they in comparison to the normal way of making metal. That includes testing it using the CT scan and using microscopy to seeing the integrity of the metal.
So they run it, they print it, and then they slice that in the different samples so we can eventually do testing and material characterization in non-destructive material characterization and destructive material characterization on those. The system you see behind me is a CT scanner. It's a very well-known system for quality control of additive process or additive manufacturing parts.
The CT scanning is really interesting to me. That's fairly new to me. I've never done anything like that before. So looking at the density inside the material, you could see what areas might cause issues and then what areas would be better off.
From there, we cut off a little section of it and we sand it and polish it and you put it under a microscope.
So we have a lot of equipment that are used in the national labs. So the national labs aren't just looking for students who can utilize the same equipment, but they have some analytical experience. And they're starting to go, well, I want to try this in research now. Can I run these prints? I want to run these prints and see what happens. And that's really what we want to support, is that curiosity of what's going to happen if I do this. I don't know, let's go, let's try it.
Any of the information that we're gaining when we're testing these materials, the way that we're testing it, the numbers that we're looking for, I can easily apply them to my senior design project. And on top of that, outside of school, career-wise, it's given me the opportunity to see things in person, to actually get a feel for them.
This program not only involves the aspects of working in the lab and machining, but we've got to talk a little bit about the cultural aspects as well. So the NTU students have shared quite a bit with me and talked about their history, their experience at this campus, and some of the local interesting spots to visit. So it's nice because it's not strictly lab work, it's an opportunity to connect with people.
Seeing all the different cultural items and foods and people just enjoying themselves, being happy, being outside. That was nice. I've never experienced something like that before.
We've managed to go on a couple hikes. We played some card games together, and we're actually going out to do dinner tonight.
It almost felt like, I knew these people before already. Like, everybody was so nice and just cool. Like, even on our first day, we did a game night together. I really enjoyed all the instructors, the interns, everything. It was a nice environment. It felt like everybody cared enough to teach us, slow down when we didn't get it.
We have students from New Mexico State University, Fairview A&M University, and Navajo Technical University. So again, these are very diverse cultures.
In the STEM field, it's important to go after anybody and everybody. Most of us are not given the platform to show the talents or any intellect that we have. So when you are given the chance to, apply yourself, the opportunity, that's when you're able to figure out, oh man, a lot of these kids, they have a lot of potential.
It's been great. QCAM in general is just awesome, and having all these different schools participate in this variety of people, it helps bring different perspectives to certain tasks, right?
So in this circumstance, in QCAM, we're basically bringing all these viewpoints together. And I think that's the most important thing, is to actually bring perspective.
We are very proud of designing something like this, and we keep doing that because I'm sure that it will impact their life.
Like I said, I want to go in more into robotics or like aerospace. So this is like probably some of the technology that we'll be using. So this is like kind of like give me a head start.
I'd really like to continue additive manufacturing as a career, and especially applying that, using my aerospace degree and applying that to space. I mean, that's pretty cool when you just say it all out loud, so.
This program has definitely molded my future for sure. It's made a stepping stone for me to get into a job I would want and in a career field I would like.
It's a really cool thing to experience, like a totally different culture, and I would love to do it again and experience, more stuff. I had a blast over here so far. I wish I had more time over here, to be honest.